Hi, my name is KP Unnikrishnan. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Palo Alto Networks, and you're with me on Sachin's Chak De Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chak De Show. We're Silicon Valley's first business, self-improvement, and tech podcast for teens, hosted by teen me. I'm Sachin Syal. I'm an 18-year-old award-winning entrepreneur, podcaster, author, and student from the Bay Area, and I interview remarkable and influential entrepreneurs, executives, investors, and inspiring individuals from all walks of life so we can learn from their stories and level up ourselves. I am also the co-founder of 3doshas.com. It's a coaching company I started with my dad, where we are helping people level up in their corporate career or in life through science from yoga and Ayurveda. The purpose of this show is to inspire you to go for it, which is what the Punjabi word Chak De means. Today, our very special guest is KP Unnikrishnan, who is the Senior Vice President of Marketing of Americas for Palo Alto Networks, which is one of my favorite companies. He was also previously the Chief Marketing Officer of Palo Alto Networks, and I'm a kind of a marketing addict, so the fact that I'm here with the top marketing exec is a really big deal, so thank you for the opportunity. In addition, he joined in 2013 and he rose to the ranks, and in the past he worked at companies like Sun Microsystems and Brocade. As a seasoned Silicon Valley business and marketing executive, Unni is driving transformative impact through brand strategy and innovation. He holds a bachelor's degree in mech from Pune University, and then he also has an Executive MBA from Singapore Management University, which is really cool because I was born in Singapore. And then another fun fact is that he did the CMO program at the Kellogg School of Business at Northwestern University. So welcome to the Chak De Show, Unni. How are you? And what is new and exciting in your life right now?
Sachin, first of all, thank you and congratulations for a wonderful brand that you have built up.
Thank you.
It's really, really impressive, right? So it's not about you being impressed by us marketeers, but us being impressed by some of the great work that you've built. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. What's happening, what's exciting, what isn't exciting, right, in the world of marketing?
I agree.
It's everything is constantly changing and evolving. And then you sprinkle a little bit of AI on top of it. It makes it even more exciting. And then you have the opportunity to sit on the Chak De Show. It's as exciting as it can get.
It's like if you think about it as a dessert, the ice cream is the main part.
Yep.
The sprinkles is the AI, and the cherry on the top is the podcast.
There you go.
Was that accurate?
I would say so. I mean, you're already doing a great job on brand positioning, I must say.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of just learn by doing. Like I just see others and watch YouTube videos.
A lot of things in marketing is actually what you rightly said. It's about you learn from what people doing around you. You understand what other need. You understand how you build a story. You understand how you build the creativity around it. And voila, that's how you position it, right?
Especially,
yes, academics and education are important, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But what you learn on life is never something that you can let go.
I'm studying advertising at San Jose State University, but I feel like when I meet people like you and I learn from the strategies you use and how you're able to become a top exec at a big tech company like Palo Alto Networks in marketing, it's like, it makes my day because you're helping my show, you're inspiring my audience, and more people from this company are going to be watching this episode, which is honestly beautiful.
Thank you.
And I do agree, education is really important, but I also think getting your hands dirty and doing the actual stuff is also really important.
It's, I would say, equally and more important, right? Because just having an academic degree is good. It's important. It gives you the stepping stone, but success comes from hard work.
Exactly.
And we'll talk about more about it.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you about your story in tech. I'm curious, how did you end up here as a top Silicon Valley exec at Palo Alto Networks? And I just want to hear about your story.
You know, I like to call myself an accidental tech executive.
Okay, I don't know. Everyone says this.
I'm sorry if there's a cliche to it.
Okay.
But the funny part or the irony behind it is I'm a mechanical engineer by education.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into the automotive industry because I love cars. And accidentally I landed up in a job in a tech company selling computers. And in a time where people wouldn't, in a market where computers were still settling in and people didn't have the full leeway of what computers bring onto the table. So it was a tough gig in a tough market, in a tough country, with an education which was not aligned with what you're trying to sell.
I see.
But I think what really helped was hard work, perseverance, great mentors and teachers that really made a big difference. And then I moved up running, I was doing sales. I moved into running channels.
Yeah.
I started enjoying marketing, and then had the privilege of working with one of the best companies when it comes to brand and sales and marketing. And then over the last couple of years, I have the opportunity to work at Palo Alto Networks, the ultimate leader in cybersecurity. We are just about 20 years old, and we've made a massive difference in the market.
Yeah.
And I'm really honored and privileged to have contributed to the growth of this company along with 16, 17,000 employees.
I love that. And what I want to get to you in this next question is that the podcast is for teens, and a lot of teens watch it, so 16 to 18. Do you have a memory of your teen years? What were you like? What were you into? How'd you get into tech?
Just last year.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, just about last year. But
Didn't you just turn 19, right?
How did you know?
Well, you didn't invite me to your party. But,
But yeah. Do I remember my teen years? Oh, absolutely I do. I mean, it was one of the best times. You don't have to worry about jobs, and you don't have to worry about responsibilities, right?
Mom and dad
which is absolutely. But having said that, I know if I look at, I've got my kids are beyond teenagers right now, but if I look at them and if I look at their friends, things have really changed. And I'm not demeaning what our teenage used to be, but I would say teenagers today are a lot more matured. They have a purpose in life. They know what they want to do, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think 20, 30, 40 years back, that's how teenagers used to look at it, right? They would just go with the flow. But yeah, so sorry, you were talking about teenagers here. And I interrupted you saying I'm 19.
No, it's okay. It's funny because you guys might assume that I'm a mature person too, but I'm also a silly guy.
No, you know what? It's the perception.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
When it's time to business, I get the work done, lock in, and get the work done. But
that's what matters.
If it's time to have fun, shoot, I'm ready to have fun.
Totally. That's how it should be.
I'm curious, when you were a teen, did you care about cybersecurity? Did you care about tech? Or did you know that you were going to end up here?
No.
What did you want to do?
I told you, I mean, I loved cars. I loved bikes. And as a teen, one thing that I would do is I could really dismantle a bike and put it together again, which I love doing.
Really?
I still think I could do it.
Do you still like doing that? Biking?
I haven't done that for like decades, but I think biking I do.
Okay.
Oh, I love to bike. Right.
And you like cars as well?
I love cars too. I've done a lot of road trips. I've done a lot of bike trips. I did, the last one was about 3 years back. I did about 3 days of road trip across Vietnam.
Oh, you did a road trip 3 days in Vietnam?
With a bike, which was fantastic.
With a bike?
Just a bike.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, and my wife behind me.
When was this?
2021, 22.
That's phenomenal. That's
3 days,
awesome.
3 days, all the way from
I don't think I'd be able to survive that.
southern Vietnam to other.
Were you guys alternating or?
No. I wouldn't give her the bike. I love to drive. So she had no choice but to sit and cling on behind me.
I see.
But it was fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like you like traveling, because I know you also were in Singapore. Have you been in a lot of countries?
I have. I think the last count, I stopped counting, is close to about 90 countries that I was
90? 90?
90.
Damn. How many countries there in total again?
156, I think. 160, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you want to make that 90 higher, or you think you're good for now?
Anything new that pops up, why not? I still have a little bit of Latin America, Southern America to still explore. I've done quite a bit of it. I did a big hike in Atacama a couple of months back, which was my first trip to Chile.
Nice.
I loved it. So, yeah.
Have you ever been to like Dubai or Abu Dhabi?
Yes, I have.
That's my dream place to go to.
Why?
Because I just think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Do you think it's not?
No, I mean, I'm not. I was just curious. It's a great place.
It's kind of like in the entrepreneurial space, like when people make it, or their companies go IPO, like, oh, I'm in Dubai now.
Zero tax.
I know. that's exactly why people like Dubai.
It's changed a lot. I mean, I remember my first trip to Dubai, and I made one more trip, I think, about a couple of years back. It's transformed a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's got a lot, very cosmopolitan. I think there's a lot. They've become far more accepting and receptive to expats and businesses, which makes it very easy. The weather is changing, right? And they're doing, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something which is making it more green, a lot more water.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a lot more acceptable place for a lot of people who traditionally wouldn't have decided of going to the Middle East.
Only thing I've heard is, it's in the summer, it's way too hot, don't go.
It is.
But there's the mall, there's the tax thing, there's the tallest building in the world, and it's clean. It's kind of like Singapore.
It is.
let's talk about your role at Palo Alto Networks, or else we're going to get off topic because I'm going to keep yapping with you. SVP of Marketing for Americas, and then also you were the Chief Marketing Officer. Can you explain what that means to my teen audience?
Sure. So as somebody in a marketing team or leading the marketing organization, our goal is to build a brand and the awareness and demand for our products. Okay, that's in simple words, that's what we're supposed to do. But if I were to take it in a little bit more of an altruistic approach of who we are at Palo Alto Networks and cybersecurity, it's about creating a need for customers to understand that there is a critical need of keeping themselves safe and secure. Okay, it's a big bad world out there, and you got to make sure that your organization and your employees and your customers and your stakeholders are safe. And do you have the right security posture to make that happen? So our goal was to really create the demand and the awareness. One was obviously by education, not about tying it back to scaring people, because our philosophy always has been technology will evolve. There are new tools and technologies that is going to come into play. They're going to make you successful. Leverage it.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have the right cybersecurity tools in place. We do not believe in coming and saying, you should not be using AI because this is going to affect you, blah, blah, blah. No. On the contrary, look at the advantages of what AI can bring onto the table. Make sure you have the right tools and security to keep you safe and secure. And that's what our role in marketing was all about. Elevating the brand, making sure customers are aware about the need, and then working with them to make sure that they're using our products and technology effectively.
I agree 100% with you, and I think you've done a really good job helping Palo Alto Networks as a top exec for marketing. I'm curious, so for teens that don't really know what cybersecurity is, why is it important, and why is there so many companies being created like Palo Alto Networks? Can you explain that to my teens?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would disagree that I would think in today's world everybody knows about the cybersecurity, but still,
I think everyone does. But the thing is, there's a lot of young
seriousness
folks.
importance. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely.
Well, I think people know of it, but they don't know why it's serious and important and why it's so crucial.
You're using a phone, and I'm sure everybody uses a phone today, right? Think about somebody who could get access to your phone, your information. If you're going to use payment, they could get access to that payment, and they could make payments on your behalf. They could build a virtual persona online like you, which is not you. Impersonation, and affecting anything and everything that you're going to be touching with your with your phone. Yeah. That's how bad it could get, right? So you have to understand as a teenager that your digital footprint is all over the place. The moment you have an iPhone, the moment you have a tablet or your computer, and the moment you're logging in, you're digitally getting exposed. Now, when you're in that environment, what do you have to do to make sure that you're not giving access to the bad people? You're making sure that you're not going and clicking on wrong infectious sites. You're making sure you're not putting your personal information out there. It's like, if you're sitting at home and you're a little kid and your parents have left you alone at home, it's like them telling, will you go and open the door to a stranger? No, right? How do you make sure that your technology and your digital world is exactly on the same lines? You got to keep yourself, protecting your information, protecting your people around you, your systems around you, and keeping yourself safe. And that's what cybersecurity is all about.
I'm curious, why are there so many people that are doing these malicious things?
See, there are. I would say there are 3 or 4 different kinds of categories. One are the bad people who are doing it from a crime standpoint. Okay. Right? Like either they want to, get onto your network, block you out of their network, and charge you money for letting you back into the network. Or they could be the bad guys who would come back and who would log into your system and impersonate you and use your technology to make money. Right? It's all about, again, criminal theft. There would be the bad adversaries or countries who could be attacking another country through cyber warfare. Right? It's not only about naval defense and air defense and land defense. It's really now getting into about cyber defense, because that's yet another route they're taking in. And the third one, which is a little sad sometimes, is a kid or somebody just doing it for the heck of it. I want to get a network down. I want to log into somebody's network.
Can't you get in trouble for that, though?
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's almost like, absolutely, it is like you're walking into somebody else's house and you're snooping around in somebody.
But it's all digitally, I guess.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
But it's the same, it's equivalent of a robber intruding, but it's just not in person.
Correct.
You brought up impersonation. It's funny. That's why a lot of people were not too happy that you can pay to get verified on social media now, because back in the day, all celebrities had to send their passport and get that blue check.
Yep.
So It's interesting. I think the biggest one in the media space is definitely impersonation. Lots of people try getting into your email, or they'll try pretending they're you. I've gotten messages saying like, hey, this is like some big CEO and their name. Like, do you want to call me back? And like, dude, this is like, if we're doing an interview, sure.
Right.
Like, sure, I'd love to do an interview,
Right.
but I know it's not you. It's funny, and I think it's kind of sad, the last one you said, that people just do it for the heck of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to face the consequences.
Oh,
You could probably get
absolutely.
cops banging on your door.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because
sad.
it's almost you're being a nuisance, and just by trying to get somebody's network down or hacking into a network just for the fun of it is not the right thing to do, right? I mean, it's a small number, I'm sure, but the first two are the larger, more critical ones, right? I mean, getting information, your information, and making money out of it, or using it for all kinds of potential attacks. And that's the bad world we are all living in. And it's for us as responsible citizens, as people who are going to be consciously aware, as teenagers who are constantly learning, what do we need to do to keep ourselves safe?
Yeah.
And not only just ourselves, but our surroundings safe. It's very important.
I'm curious, do you know of any stories of major cyber threats or things that have happened in the past that kind of shook up the industry? And
Oh,
people
totally,
were shocked?
totally. I'll do a little bit of a Palo Alto Networks sell.
Okay.
Going to Palo Alto Networks, Unit 42,
Okay.
and all the stories are listed over there.
Oh, actually?
Yes.
Nice. How would people go there? They just,
PaloAltoNetworks.com,
Okay.
and there is a link that talks about that talks Unit 42. Click on it. It gives you our solutions and the kind of work that we have done with customers
I see.
who either got breached or have had a ransomware attack or have had situations where they had an attack coming in and we stepped in to help them out.
I see. I'm curious, like, I know we have a U.S. Secretary of Defense that's like for actual in-person protection. Who's like the top government official that takes care of cybersecurity?
There are. I mean, every country, most of the countries have government executives or departments whose sole responsibility is that. Because, as I said, it's also the government's responsibility to keep them, as in the government entities, as well as its citizens safe.
I see.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of government entities who run programs today to educate citizens. I know I was involved with one of the governments where they ran a program to educate senior citizens. You're talking about teenagers. Think about your grandparents. Think about your grandparents' parents, right? If they're sitting in one corner of the world and they want to have a video call with you,
Yeah.
and they get a link saying that, hey, Sachin is calling me or somebody is calling me, and if I don't know about it, I click on it, and boom, it could be a malicious link. So again, programs on how do you educate senior citizens on making sure that they don't fall for these kind of attacks.
Malicious links is one thing too, but also, what if you get like those calls that say this is IRS and stuff? Is that also?
Oh yeah,
that's similar, right?
It is similar. I mean, that's more phonetic or people doing it verbally, but yes, that's also another way of people falling for those situations.
I've gotten calls like, this is Kaiser and you need to pay this. I'm like, well, I'm in Stanford. What are you talking about? I don't even have Kaiser. I want to talk a little bit about the company culture of Palo Alto Networks with you, Unni. Your guys' vision is a world where each day is safer and more secure than the one before.
Yep.
What does this mean to you? And then can you go deeper and dive into what does it mean by safer and more secure?
See, for the way we look at our company and the industry is we got to be constantly on our toes, right? Because it's an industry that's constantly evolving. There are the bad guys who are constantly evolving themselves. There are tools that's coming into play. And how do we make sure that we at Palo Alto Networks are on our toes and creating that innovation and technology that keeps us as people, employees, organizations, enterprises, governments safe. So we're working out for every other day, for the next day, how are we bringing in the new tools and new technologies to keep people safe and secure? And that's our whole philosophy behind who Palo Alto Networks is. Our approach always has been that we want to solve problems with technology and innovation. And there's a substantial amount of investments that we do because we don't know what is lurking tomorrow. We don't know what's the new potential threat that's coming in tomorrow. I mean, giving an example, everybody's talking about AI today.
Yeah.
We started embarked on an AI, AML, machine learning journey 7 to 8 years back. Because we were preparing. We knew
Ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game. I mean, that's where a visionary technology comes in, right? So we got to be prepared. I mean, quantum is potentially the next new thing that could be coming through. Are we prepared? Yes, there is work that the organization is doing in that space. So that's what our philosophy and the culture is. It's really about innovation. It's about solving customers' problems for today and preparing them for tomorrow so that we are on our toes. We are constantly ready, taking care of what the customers need.
I see. It's funny. I say this in a lighthearted way, but I have an AI obsession and kind of addiction because I think it's just fascinating. I think it's cool stuff.
It is.
I'm curious, what is the link between, because when you joined Palo Alto Networks, AI was not as big. It was around, but now with all the AI, like OpenAI, Perplexity, Anthropic, what is the link between AI and cybersecurity?
It's another new, so there are two ways, actually there are three ways of looking at it, maybe two ways. Today there's a lot of AI tools that people are using. Whether it's generative AI tools, whether it's AI tools that the bad guys are using to get onto your network. So as an organization, there are multiple ways you have to look at it. How are you building your infrastructure, which is securing AI by design, right? It's about making sure that you have an infrastructure that caters to potential AI attacks, that also caters to in-house AI, for lack of a better word, leakage.
What is in-house?
So if I'm a marketing department and I'm doing some creative work using AI, and I'm using it from a vendor which has potentially got breached, and I bring that tool into the organization, how am I safeguarding myself? Because you don't have guardrails, right? You may suddenly have people going and posting stuff outside using tools inside the organization and trying to do new things because AI is so cool. People may not realize, some of these tools may not have the right guardrails. They may get, you may have AI infections into it.
Yeah.
And how do you keep yourself safe and secure? So it's really about cybersecurity, preparing yourself for an AI age, point number one.
I see.
And the second more important or equally important thing, you can't fight AI with people. You got to fight AI with AI.
Yeah.
Right. So all our tools, all the products that we are bringing out into the market is all AI.
Yeah.
So it's AIs cannot be fought with a bunch of smart men and women. It has to be fought with tools and technology that is constantly up to speed because it has to be real time. Attacks could be multi-purpose.
Yeah.
You need to be able to address that. It could be millions and billions of attacks coming in together. You need to be able to identify what that is, and all that can be done through AI. So in-house usage of AI, plus making sure we are blocking the approach.
I'm curious, has anyone tried going after Palo Alto Networks?
You know what? If you go to our website,
Same.
actually it's a good question that you asked. If you go to our website, it tells you the daily attacks that we see.
Oh, okay.
We have a ticker.
That's a cool website. Guys, check out the website. It's just paloaltonetworks.com.
So if you scroll down, it shows you the threats that's coming in, the net new threats that we identified, the petabytes of attacks that we are going through. It's all listed on our website.
It's interesting because there's 8 billion people in the world. I'm sure there's in-person robberies every day.
Sure.
There's probably cybersecurity attacks every day.
Sure.
And I'm glad there are people like you and execs that are trying to make the world a safer place.
We have to. It's an industry that needs to. It's an industry and a technology that need to fight the bad things.
Yeah.
Right. And if the industry comes together, it's not about just one organization's responsibility. Yes, we are a leader in that space for sure, but it's the whole cybersecurity industry. Everybody is doing the right job, right things to make sure that we're keeping the world safer.
I'm curious, you joined in 2013, so was the mission back then different or has it been the same?
It has been
Pretty consistent?
pretty consistent and really evolving it is the way I would like to put it across.
Would you say for your company, Palo Alto Networks, AI helped the company, or do you think AI has made it harder for cybersecurity? What is the difference between when AI was not in the picture and now it's in the picture?
It's making it a lot more fast.
Do more jobs get created that way?
See, there are multiple ways of looking at it. With AI, it helps you drive a lot more effectiveness and efficiency for sure. It helps you get more, what's the right word to use, technologically enhanced because of all the features that you're able to bring in. And it makes you far more real-time and predictive, right? Because end of the day, with all the data, AI is all about data, right? And the organization which has the highest amount of data knows how to kind of cull the data and make sure they're able to use it in the right way to address the attacks. And that's how we've been doing it. Now, how is that going to be important? Because it will continue to build, it will continue to grow, and organizations will continue to lap into leveraging AI more and more, both from usage as well as from using technology from companies like us to help them stay secure.
It's so funny to me because if I was like a young kid, I imagine when I think of security, I'll think of like a physical lock or an actual door that's locked.
Sure.
But this is the same thing. It's just all online.
Virtual, absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing, right? I mean, you step out of the house, you have your doors and windows locked when you go out. I mean, it's the same thing when you're logging in or logging out of your computer, when you're logging in, logging out of your phone.
I never thought about it that way.
How do you make sure that you don't have the bad people getting in? Because there are the bad people and things that are lurking around.
Yeah. Okay, time for some fun questions now.
Sure.
So I saw from your LinkedIn that you worked in Singapore in Palo Alto Networks when you were serving as VP of Marketing for Asia, Pacific, and Japan. That was in 2019?
2013.
2013, oh.
So I moved to Singapore in 2010. So I was there from 2010 to almost 13, 14 years I was there.
Oh, I see. I thought it was 2019 because on LinkedIn it says the only Singapore thing is...
I moved...
But you were there since 2010?
Yes.
So 2010, okay.
Yes.
Then when did you move back? Did you move from Singapore to here?
Physically about close to 2 years back.
Oh. Okay, nice.
Yes.
Any recommendations of place to go?
Food.
Wait, there's no
you
cities,
a foodie?
right? It's just Singapore?
It's a city. It's a
okay.
city. Yeah.
I am a foodie. I'm a big foodie.
Go to a place called Lau Pa Sat.
Okay. What type of food is that?
It's Chinese, Malaysian, a little bit of Indian. It's a street. They block the street after I think 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and that street becomes like a open market, open restaurant.
That's fun.
And then they cook on the sides and they bring all the things in and they feed you over there. And Singapore being Singapore, next day morning, spick and span.
It's a well-run country.
Totally well-run country.
What are like the top tech companies in Singapore? If I was to go to Singapore, which tech exec should I interview there?
As in the local companies, or you're talking about because every U.S. company, most of the U.S. companies have a presence over.
Are there any big tech companies headquartered in Singapore?
As in local Singapore companies?
No, I mean like American tech companies.
No,
not really?
they're all most of them are regional headquarters.
Oh.
Most of them. Most of them are regional.
I see.
Yeah.
I think I think the reason I was born there, because I have an older brother. He's 20, I'm 18, but he was born here.
Okay.
He was born in Fremont. But the reason I was born there is because of my dad. And I think he was placed on some job where you have to do stuff in Singapore.
You should convince him to go back maybe.
I should. I think he's too happy being here though now.
Is it?
No, but we can do a family trip. All four of us, we should go.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place.
I'll send you the pictures.
You should.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, in your mind, what does the future of the cybersecurity space look like? And do you think it's going to change and evolve as the years go by, or do you think it's going to be pretty consistent and the same?
No, it will absolutely continue to evolve. If there are a couple of things that we should be looking at from a cybersecurity standpoint is the influx of AI, as we spoke about, right? The expansion of a potential attack surface. And, suddenly, I mean, many decades back, a virus attack was through your PC.
Yeah.
Today, you have a digital footprint, you're prone to an attack. So there's a massive expansion of your attack surface. And today, cars and, any kind of digital devices are something that needs to be kept secure. I think the third part would be cybersecurity is not for just cybersecurity and tech professionals. Everybody should know.
Yes.
Because you have to be, you could be the first point of failure, right, on an attack. And how do you make sure that you are aware and educated? And then the third piece I would say is the job opportunities, right? Because one is around cybersecurity, there's a massive opportunity with jobs. And secondly, with a massive AI influx coming into it, you need more and more sharp, youngsters entering the workforce to dabble with cybersecurity and AI.
It's funny you bring up digital footprint because I was talking to my friend Ethan about this. He just deactivated his Instagram because he's doing like a cabin trip to do meditation. It's like, shoot, I actually have my cell number, my email, everything about me on a website. So is that a lot of digital footprint?
It is.
Okay. But how do I stay safe then?
Make sure a couple of things, on your website, you have the right security tools in place.
Yes,
your organizations
have
secure,
like the lock on the...
All of the above. I mean, that's one part of it, but all of the above. And then it links back to your cloud or links back to your network or your servers. How do you keep that safe?
Yeah.
How do you make sure your digital devices are safe? So there's a lot that needs to be done, right?
I have a question. Like when you sometimes go to websites and it says like not safe and it's a red thing on Google. It says like attackers might be trying to steal information. What does that mean?
It means they don't have the right security posture in that website, right?
So would you say it's not safe to go to unsecure websites?
Oh, totally unsafe, right?
Because not to put sensitive information.
Oh, that's even more.
It's like if you go to an insecure website and then buy with your credit card number, like.
I mean, you might just walk into a bank and tap your stranger out there and say, here's my bank account number and here's my PIN.
I would want to be that stranger.
There would be a lot of people who would want to be that stranger.
I know,
right?
I know. I wanted to ask you a question about, I want you to do a little bit of reflection of your life.
Okay.
I know you mentioned your children are above teens now, but I'm thinking, the way I wanted to ask this was like, if you can think of just one piece of advice that you wish you would have heard when you were 13 to 18 or 16 to 18, and something that was actually like a real and pivotal difference in your life, that like that feedback and that advice would like be like, shoot, this is game changing. What would that be?
Not game changing, but something that I think my parents instilled in me and I learned, and some of those things I learned the hard way, is there is never two thoughts about hard work. Okay? Hard work will get you where it should.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing is easy in life.
Yeah.
It's ongoing learning.
Yeah.
I think we're all living in a world and an industry where what you learned 20 years back is not going to take you through the next many years, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm going through AI courses right now.
Yeah.
I'm studying every weekend. Right?
Yeah,
because
that's
I
good.
new things I want to
That's
do.
good.
The third important thing is, and I kind of coined it in my own way, is life is not a bed of roses, right?
Yeah.
Get yourself in a tire that'll make you comfortable in a
Yeah.
bed of roses.
I love that.
That's the way you got to look at it.
I really love that. That's really well said. I mean, I feel like there's so many, because of this podcast, I've met so many execs, entrepreneurs, founders, investors, athletes, and stuff, and they've given me all this advice. And it's like, shoot, I need to like solidify all this into like, what's the big picture that everyone's trying to tell me? So thank you for sharing that with me.
Thank you.
These are the last two questions that I asked to all my guests on the Ochak This show. The first one is, what is your all-time best advice for teens?
I think going back to my earlier statement, right? I mean, there is no two thoughts about hard work. You know, people sometimes think that, hey, what is the easy way to get things done? Right? It might get you a place, it'll not get you to the place. So it's really about constantly striving hard to get to what you need. And it's a very competitive world out there.
It is.
Right?
It
There
is.
are everybody who's trying to do a Ochak Day show. And how are you stepping up and becoming better, right? You're working hard, right?
Yeah.
And people can't think there's an easy way to get to that. The second important thing, again, going back to my earlier statement, is always be learning.
Yeah.
Right. It is the world. We are in a privileged and a little bit of a challenging scenario where things are changing. I worked in a company where my CEO had once said, technology has a shelf life of a banana. Right. So that's how things are evolving. And if you're not prepared, you're going to become dinosaur in your era where others have leapfrogged ahead. It's like the statement that I heard somebody say, AI may not be taking away your job, but not knowing AI could take away your jobs.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Did you mean by the banana thing that like it gets ripe too fast?
Or you finish it off
Or
too
you finish
fast.
it? Oh.
Both.
Which company was that at? Was that here or a different
No,
company?
it was another company.
Another company. Got it. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on people that say working hard is smart, but you need to work? Working hard is really like important, but instead of working hard, work smart.
Yeah, true.
Do you think
I
agree?
apply. I
Okay.
apply. I totally apply. I mean, it's not about working. You're right, and maybe I need to rephrase that. It's about working hard and smart, because yes, it's very easy to be doing things, but if you're doing things without an outcome, if you're doing things without an impact, it doesn't help you.
Got it. This is the last question of the day, Unni. It is, what was your favorite part of being a guest on the Ochak This show?
You know what? Thank you. First of all, this was a
Yeah,
fantastic show. I
this was
loved it.
awesome.
Didn't feel like an interview. It was like a nice
was a conversation, yes,
right?
yes, that's the
and,
goal.
Kudos to you. You're well prepared, and
Thank
I must
you.
say that. And kudos to your show. I did have I was last night or this morning. I glanced through a lot of your interviewers, and to your credit, you got a lot of good people over there. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
And thank you for supporting me. Guys, by the way, we're in a studio right now at the Palo Alto Networks headquarters in Santa Clara. Silly question. Shouldn't the headquarters be in Palo Alto?
That's a long story.
Okay. We'll do a second episode for that one.
Sure.
In a few years or few months.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to let my audience know before we end off?
No, thank you. I mean, this is a great show, and hopefully this was useful. I had a great conversation with Sachin, and I hope people find it interesting.
Likewise. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.